These are questions 21 to 40 in the motorbike specific section of the free road code practice website at drivingtests.co.nz. Why is it dangerous to travel in other riders' blind spots? A blind spot is where a motorist can't see you when they're facing forward. You're essentially hidden from view, and even if they glance in the mirrors, they're not likely to see you. Therefore, the risk is that the other motorist is more likely to move into your space, risking an accident. What items are required by law for a passenger when travelling on a motorcycle? Check all that apply. Only a helmet is required by law, but it's a good idea to have boots, a jacket, long pants and sunglasses, as these all add protection. But answer A is the only answer because that's the only piece of clothing required by law. Why is face protection important? Check all that apply. It protects the rider's eyes and face from wind, rain, dust, insects, and other debris. When in a line of stopped or moving traffic, what should you do? Stay in the centre of your lane. This gives you the most options within your lane to move away from danger. It also means that you're the most visible to other road users. If a motorbike only had one indicator working, would it fail its warrant of fitness? The answer is yes, all your lights must be working. Which equipment must a motorcycle have to enable you to carry a passenger? Check all that apply. You'll need foot pegs for you and your passenger, and enough room on your seat for 2 people without crowding. You don't need a lap belt for the passenger, and the engine size isn't specific. Which brake is the most powerful on a motorbike? The front brake assumes between 75 and 90% of the braking duties, therefore the front brake needs to be the most powerful. If you ride behind a large truck, what should you do? Large trucks have large blind spots. These are areas where you can't be seen in the driver's mirrors. You should ride fairly far back, and either on the left or the right, so that you can see the vehicle's side mirror. If you can see the mirror, then the driver can see you. If another rider or driver follows you too closely, what should you do? Courteous driving means that you shouldn't hold up other riders or drivers, so simply pull to the left to let them past. If you're in an emergency situation and need to control your bike, which of these is best? The bike will tend to go where you're looking, so avoid looking at the obstacle that you don't want to hit, and look where you want to go, because the bike will tend to steer that way. Is riding a motorbike more tiring than driving a car? The answer is yes. How will you notice if your chain breaks? When your chain breaks, the engine then doesn't have any resistance against it turning, so the engine will over-rev and you'll lose power. When towing, if your trailer, including its load, is more than half of the weight of your motorcycle, what's the maximum speed you can ride? The answer is 40 km per hour. When passing parked vehicles, in what position in the lane should you be? Staying in the right of your lane means that you'll be more visible to those vehicles, and it also gives you more of a buffer should a vehicle start to move out. What motorbike helmet standards are acceptable in New Zealand? Check all that apply. All of these are acceptable in New Zealand. What's the most important thing to do when riding at night? As a motorcyclist, you're already less visible than other road users, so make yourself more visible at night. As a restricted license holder, what's the maximum cc of a bike that you're allowed to ride? The answer is 660cc, as long as it's LAMS approved. It's raining and you're about to stop at a red light, but see that there's a large area that looks like an oil spillage. What should you do to stop safely? Check all that apply. Staying upright is important. You shouldn't ride through the stoplight because you might be hit by another vehicle. You should use both brakes, but apply the front one first. Don't apply the rear one first. If possible, try to steer away from the oil, but don't make any sudden moves, and don't try to steer if you're on the oil. What does this sign mean? This sign shows that motorcycles can park to the left. What's an engine seizure caused by? Engine seizures happen when there's not enough lubrication. Without oil, the engine's moving parts can't move smoothly against each other and the engine will overheat.